about during the live. But it says that Fisher is focusing on a new video that could be a break in the search for the missing teen. Fisher says the video, if you look closely, is a person in dark clothing walking in the Sebastian neighborhood around 12:17 a.m. on the night he disappeared. He says that a person hides behind a car when someone walks a dog nearby, and then the person takes off in the opposite direction. But what SF, I guess, decided to do is just release only a certain portion of this clip and not give the full context to it. And so here we go. I'm going to put it full screen so you guys. So of course you can't see much, probably nothing at all if you're on your phone. I apologize. But then with my source, I was able to get more footage, which is this footage here. I'm going to now play this full screen first, and then I'll explain what's going on, and then I'll talk about just a little bit more than what I was able to speak about during my live show. So again, I know it's really hard to see, and it's footage taken from the Kellen neighborhood, kind of looking up towards Devon. It's still Kellen Ave that we're looking at. The guy's kind of wandering down, and then he gets behind a car, and then he walks back up. What's really going on is it's just a guy walking his dog, and he gets to the vehicle, and then it appears that the dog, once he gets to the vehicle, the dog then runs back. Because the homeowner lives off Devon somewhere up here. I'm not sure which home, but off this street. And so he's just walking his dog, and then it looks like the dog actually then just kind of takes off back where it came from. And then you just kind of see him dart out afterwards. And the only part that SF shows is the part where you just see somebody darting off. And without giving full context, that might appear like it could be Sebastian. Of course, for some reason, SF has a fixation on getting Sebastian over to this construction site. That way, you have that narrative that he ran off and then maybe got buried or something. And, and it's pathetic and it's ridiculous and it's shameful. But luckily, with my sources, I was able to get this footage that I don't think anybody else it seems Fox may have slightly more to the clip, but again, this part here is not what SF had showed, and it's clear that there's a guy. It's tough to see the animal because you could barely even make out the individual that's walking. But from my source, I heard that this person tends to walk their dog late at night. So why is this a big deal, and why I talked about it during the live show? Well, one, now, of course, this is completely backfired. Nick Barris and Sumner County Sheriff's Office has come out, put out a statement saying, no, we've already seen this. We've vetted this a long time ago. We know this is nothing big. And then I think it's coincidentally, SF puts out a statement, saying, I didn't say this is a big break in the case, and that he had given this footage, but they didn't want to release it until a week later, and that he also had given it to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office to look at. And I think it's just funny. To me, I think he's just trying to say, I was trying to have them vet it first, but then, the news put it out there without, waiting a week for them to verify it. But to me, that's just an excuse. Of course, him trying to cover his tracks, but we know how Shill Fisher is. So, why is this a big deal? I kind of talked about it. This has the people that have footage on this in this neighborhood know about this. This particular homeowner even obviously knows about it. He heard about it. He actually had to speak with the news because he didn't want the news showing, because this is zoomed in. Now, because this is on Twitter, I will show this. I didn't show it during my live because I know the homeowner doesn't want his home, again, he's trying to be private about this. Where is it here? So here's the original shot. So you can see how far away we're actually looking. I mean, this is crazy far away. But this is on Twitter, so normally I wouldn't show this, but again, people are already probably seeing this, so I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Again, but as you guys know, I do have my sources. I've backed that up. And obviously the footage that I have, clearly I don't think anybody else has at right now. Obviously I got that from a very confidential source. Now again, this footage, of course, now that we have the full context, is nothing burger, but the repercussions are the big news, because now not only this person but people in this neighborhood are now talking about it because they're not happy with SF at all. They feel used, and on top of that, before we get into that, let me just explain something that, from what I understand. So one of the questions I've always had is, well, if SF was going to be able to get this footage, how come Dog's team and the team with Seth didn't get this footage? And from what I understand, and I could be wrong, there could be some things I don't know, because I have spoken with their team before. And from what I understand is, before there was a big falling out between, Seth and Katie, and, on their side, is that Seth did have a PI. Obviously, that was somebody that knew Fisher, from what I understand. I forget their names. They did go out and collect, the footage. And this was somebody that was hired by on Seth's side. But when they decided not to be working anymore with Seth, they just turned all that footage over to not SF, excuse me, the sheriff's office, the law enforcement, instead of giving copies to Seth. And, they weren't happy about that because, they paid for the PI, and I was kind of hoping to see that footage. So from what I understand, they kind of got burned on that. And I don't know if they ever went back and, got more footage. From what I understand, I don't think so, which really surprised me. And then you have SF come in many, many months later and then get this footage and now use it to his benefit, obviously being hired by the Proudfoots, to now kind of put out this narrative. Obviously, one narrative that, he was trying to hide from, some people and different things, and always just trying to get him to this construction zone. And yeah, so now fast forward to today. Like I said, the people that SF had went and got this footage from, now they feel very used, are not happy with SF at all. and this has completely backfired in such a way that they're now speaking with great sources, and they are now going to be eventually in contact with, and certain footage is going to be sent to CES team, which obviously they're working closely with law enforcement as well. And why that's a big deal is because there is footage, obviously, that SF probably has. And there's footage that even the homeowners may have had. That I know that they had sent certain stuff over to TBI and stuff, but there's other footage that they may have had that they thought was irrelevant. And now, after kind of seeing all this play out, and us kind of reiterating about a certain situation going on, which I hinted at during my live show, which I'll just kind of hint at right here. As you guys know, this is something that I've been interested in because we don't have all the info with the 258 car. And I can just tell you guys now that there could be some major developments because a certain homeowner didn't realize, of course, he thought he sent over all the relevant stuff. But now, looking back on it, there's possible stuff that may or may not have been sent to the proper channels. And this is why, like I said, I was screaming from the inside, and I wish I could just blurt it out, but I don't want to burn my sources because there could be other things that I may be able to get my hands on, but I don't want to get my hopes up or jinx that. As long as that particular footage gets in the right hands, that's all that matters. I really don't care if I'm not able to see it, but it would be cool if by chance if I do. But anyway, that's kind of the gist of it. There is more, obviously, but I have to wait. But again, the main thing is this has created a major snowball effect in the right direction, in my opinion, to people that thought they could trust FS and now have been burned by what had happened today, and now are going back and looking and seeing if there is other potential footage. And for what I can say is there's at least one thing that we look back on today that I can tell you what I'm showing you on screen for the most part happened. There's still a few things that we don't know 100%, but what I just showed you on screen, that's why I am kind of ecstatic. I feel like shit, but I can't believe it. Like, and this is all in a way thanks to SF, because again, showed us true colors. He's just sitting there. He's just clearly trying to put out a narrative, and it backfired deeply. And the right people are now seeing the light, and thank God for this, because and what timing with the anniversary come along. So again, this is just kind of a short clip with the footage, and so I hope you guys appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for the love and support, and hopefully we will be back on Saturday, maybe with a little bit more updates to that. I just have to kind of see where things go. I don't want to push my luck, and of course either or burn my sources, because again, they've been so good to me. And again, I give out what I can, and when I can't, I tell you up front, and then hopefully in the near future we'll be able to expand on it. So with that said, thank you guys so much, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon. God bless.